to the DNVR Avalanche podcast. You haven't hit me with that in a while.
I know. That's why I was like, let's do this.
AJ and RyJo coming to you live as the Avs win the hockey game 2-1 over the St. Louis Blues. They're 3-0-1 in their last four. 3-1-1 in this stretch of games where we said they really need to make up ground. That's really not that bad, despite obviously the way things played out in the game the other night.
Yeah, and what's frustrating, you look at that, you said 3-1-1.
Yep.
Your losses to Chicago,
yep.
And then your OTL is a
four-goal
blown lead. And that's where everybody is like so dramatic over the last 2 days.
Yep.
Of like, this team just doesn't have it. It's like, golly, these actual results here are.
It's not even bad. It's good results overall.
Yeah.
Obviously, some of how that bread got made, you're unhappy with. But tonight, well, no, there's some things you're unhappy with tonight, too. I think fair enough. But let's get to the 60-second rundown for starters. No, she doesn't. All right.
I'll just count.
The first period, the Avs actually pulled a magic trick. Riddle me this, Batman. How do you score 3 goals in a period, but the score is 1-1 at the end of the period?
It's more like, how do you create 3 goals?
I mean, they got scored. They just got taken back. Yeah, fair. They didn't score the one on themselves.
Yeah.
Either way. The Avs do score the first goal. It gets removed for goalie interference. Then they score the first goal again. This time it counts Ryan Johansen at net front. And then they give up a goal to a shorthanded St. Louis team on their own power play. Nathan MacKinnon pseudo extends his 20-game point streak, but didn't actually extend it.
Yeah.
So technically it dies. The second period, you might as well have watched paint dry outside of 2 specific opportunities that neither of which ended up in the back of the net. And then the third period was just kind of the continuation of the game until eventually a bounce goes the Avalanche way and they win 2-1.
Would you rather watch paint dry or grass grow?
Oh, paint dry.
Why?
Because it'll be over way faster.
Yeah?
Yeah. Paint dries in like an evening.
I'm not saying grass grow to a certain level. I'm just saying you're just sitting there watching it. You can decide to leave whenever you want.
Oh, well, then I would watch neither if there wasn't like a minimum time. But like, if you said, hey, you have to watch for like a minimum of 2 hours, you would see a discernible difference in the dried paint. I don't think you would be able to tell that the grass was any different.
Yeah.
So.
Or an iceberg melt.
Oh, God. How many years you got?
Well, the way things are going, not many left, you know? Why is Tiff being mean to me today?
I'm literally just over here working.
So rude. She's being rude off mic.
Kind of a weird...
She's drunk with power.
Kind of a weird first period. Because the Avs...
She's kind of a bad first period. Can we substitute weird for bad and then call that all 3 periods?
The energy in this room right now is so weird. What is going on?
It's way more energy than was on display in St. Louis tonight.
True.
The game, it was an awful hockey game to sit through, man. Like,
really terrible.
Just think of how much caffeine we normally consume and like how amped up we get, and like we were just so bored this whole game.
Really,
like,
it was
this is
like
just energy left over.
It's like the energy didn't get depleted during the game, and so now all the reserve, it's emptying the tank. Again, neither team did that shit tonight. It was an awful hockey game. Neither team played well. It wasn't interesting. There was no flow to it.
To sum it up, at the end of the second period, shots were 18-12. High octane. What you had the high danger chances throughout the entire game were 5-3. I think you said
at 5v5. Yeah, in 48 minutes of 5v5 time, it was 5-3.
8 total in the game.
Yeah,
that is not good hockey. It's just not good hockey.
You remember in the pregame? Oh man, that is a different flavor. It's a strong orange. It surprises me every time.
Better than this game, which was a lemon. So.
Well played, sir. Well played. No, the 8. I don't remember what I was going to say.
8 high danger chances in the game total.
8 high danger chances. It was just. I mean, it's just bad, man.
Yep.
It was just bad.
Lack of efficiency on both teams, certainly. First period of this game, kind of a weird one, right? The Avs are getting outshot like 6-1 early in the game, but they technically scored a goal. It just gets taken off the board
Yeah,
because Curtis McDermott interfered with the goalie.
Yeah, Josh Manson scores on their first shot of the game. It gets pulled off because Curtis McDermott just far too casually runs into the goaltender.
Yep.
Not egregiously so.
But he does it.
But he makes contact. He wasn't pushed. We were like, well, Torrey Krug kind of. It's like Torrey Krug put his hand on his back.
There was no shove. There was no.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. We talked in the pregame about how the Avs, if they played a C game, it was going to be a challenge. Mm-hmm. Well, they played a C game. Georgiev played an A game, and so it's all good.
And St. Louis played a C game also.
Yep. Turns out Colorado C is better than St. Louis C.
Take it where you can get it. Yeah, so I do want to give the Avs some credit for having the mental fortitude to have a goal taken off the board in the early part of this game. They're getting outshot pretty heavy. They ended like 14-4 in the first period. I'm not trying to say the Avs played well.
No.
But they were able to keep it together and get that first goal again.
Yeah, the unit that you feel great about tonight is your penalty kill.
Yep.
Probably wins you this game.
Killed multiple in the first period and then multiple more throughout the rest of the game.
Yep.
So A+ work on the penalty kill side. And the Avs' first goal is not anything fancy, as we'll get into. The fancy stuff really was not working that well for the Avs' top guns.
Their fanciest play should have been a goal.
Yeah, it wasn't, but
It was not.
but you score a goal by working a puck out of the corner, get it up to your point guys, get a puck to the net, and then Ryan Johansen standing in front is able to chip it home. And it ultimately ends up being a 2-point night from RyJo.
Yeah. A weird, when you break down the specifics of it, it's a weird goal.
Yeah.
Because, like, Byram throws it across to Manson.
Yep.
And Manson fumbles it, does not, and then he just throws it up the wall, and Druin just like throws it at the net.
Throws it towards the net, yeah.
And it's just everybody like making like a basic safe, like, well, just trying to get rid of this puck before I lose it, kind of thing. And it ends up in a goal.
Yep.
RyJo just.
And there's some fortune there. Bennington makes a save on Druin. The rebound bounces into Falk's like body area and comes out, but. That's what happens when pucks go to those areas.
It just, if there's one thing that you absolutely can say happened tonight, the Avs got the breaks.
Oh, for sure.
The bounces, the calls, it all felt like it really went in the Avalanche's favor.
Yep. There was a lot of things that broke the Avs' way. The Avs have had plenty of games where that is the opposite, so I don't apologize and take what you can get and run.
We always say you never apologize for success.
Yep.
It is what it is. You got a couple of good breaks, and it ended up in a win for you.
Yep. RyJo, a 2-point night. I don't think you or I particularly loved his game outside of the nice finish on the goal.
Great play on the game winner.
Sure.
Good face-off win,
Sure.
and then
He also made a nice play to help set up his own goal along the wall.
Yep.
There are things to like there, and obviously
a guy that had 2 points in 14 games
just got
has
2 points in one game.
2 points in a night where the Avs only score twice and win. Probably your second star of the night.
Probably. Also, shout out Leah from PHNX hanging out. Yeah, I guess beating the Blues does help you guys, which you guys were winning last time I checked. So
I know Clayton Keller scored because my phone buzzed.
there you go. Always checking the fantasy team. But 2 points is great. You need RyJo to start producing more immediately.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, I mean, we talked on our show yesterday where I was like, you got to move him.
I despite the production tonight, I stand by that.
Oh, of course.
And that's the reality I want to make here is, yes, 2 points is great. If he continues to produce over the next 10 games, maybe you've changed your mind on that conversation. But right now, this has to be the start of a run for RyJo.
It has to be a start of a Druin, like, I have settled in.
Yep.
I have found my comfort zone. I've got a role here. That's what it would have to be that. It would have to be up from now until the deadline.
Yep. Pretty much.
In order to be like, you know what? I think we're okay here. He would have to have like 20 points in the next 25 games where you're like, okay.
You can live with that.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. And the conversation remains tough tonight, right? Because, yes, RyJo did have a multi-point night. You also watched Jared Bednar play fourth-line guys more minutes than RyJo tonight.
Yeah. on a night where he was your 2C, he plays 13 and a half minutes, and he gets 2 points.
I don't know that you can ask him to do more than he did tonight.
Yeah.
But it's clear that him doing what he does successfully, him producing goals, has not earned the trust from Jared Bednar.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you solve that problem with RyJo if even when he has a 2-point night, you can't play him.
Yeah.
It remains a tough spot. Look, I'm all for it. I hope RyJo figures it out. I hope he can fill that role.
Yeah.
I also expect this to not be what you just said of a nice run for him.
Yeah. The hard part here is that even on a 2-point night, you're like, did he do much?
It doesn't feel like he had a ton of opportunities created. It doesn't feel
the
like
team didn't, so he
that's
didn't.
fair. That's fair.
You know, I think they only created, I'd have to go back and double check, but I think it was like 11 scoring chances.
It wasn't a lot.
They average more than 20.
Yep.
So, you know, like they didn't do anything offensively tonight. And you are looking at a lineup and you are going, yeah, it's banged up right now. Mm-hmm. There are a handful of guys in your lineup that you would not play if you were all hands on deck.
McDermott is not in your lineup.
Kiviranta's
either the 12th forward or not in your lineup.
Yeah. And Ben Myers
is probably not in your lineup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forget the back end, who's also missing Sam Girard still. Like, you're just a little all over the place. And
the Girard thing is getting more and more interesting because when he came back to the team, we had talked about Sam Malinsky as like, you want to find a way here.
Yeah.
You want to find a way to make this work with him. He'd been so good.
Yep.
He was not good against Arizona. And there were so many other things that we didn't really talk about it. And he was awful tonight.
Yeah.
He was awful.
He got pretty caved in his own zone.
Yeah. And we're watching him. We're like, God, Sam Malinsky's really having a hard time here. So he's really facing his first like extended, it's like 3 or 4 games now, stretch of poor play.
Yep.
Now he has to dig out of it. These things happen. You're in the NHL, you know, but now he has to dig out of it. These are the kinds of stretches that Jared Bednar and the Avalanche coaching staff have been loath to sit through with young players in recent years.
Yep.
What makes Sam Malinsky different? Or will he be different? Or will Girard coming back at some point we expect soon?
Be the axe for Sam. Yeah.
Yeah.
There can only be one Sam.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're doing a Sam for Sam lineup swap here. Because right now, you know, you're not, with the way Malinsky has played these last couple of games, if you really wanted to run a 12-6, Malinsky's the obvious guy coming out. Because let's be realistic here. Jack Johnson's not that guy. It would be a major surprise if Sam Girard slots back into the lineup at the expense of Jack Johnson.
It's the same story that we've had with Oscar Olausson over the last couple of seasons, right? Oscar Olausson is not the guy you call up to play on your 4th line. You're not setting himself up for success there.
Yeah.
And what the Avs ask out of their bottom pairing is sound defensive hockey.
Yeah. Take care of that zone.
And the reality is Sam Malinsky's a rookie defenseman who's still learning defensive coverages at NHL speed.
And whose best attributes are in the offensive zone.
Yep.
Like, it's just a misfit for what you want in that role. Now, you know, we'll talk more about this when the Girard thing either happens or becomes real, whatever.
Yeah.
But for my money, I would roll 11-7. I would cut McDermott out of it. And
you're losing a grand total of 4 minutes of ice time a night, 5 minutes of ice time a night
like
if you're running that.
You barely have to. You barely have to make an adjustment to your forward core.
Yep. That's what, 2 extra shifts for your wings on that
for
side?
A variety of guys that could do it.
Yep.
Because it is a wing. It's not a center spot. Yep. So that's how I would do it.
I don't hate it. I don't know if that's what they'll do. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. But Malinsky playing as poorly as he did tonight.
What was an opportunity for him to maybe play his way into a spot has become, he hasn't really seized it.
It's a bad time for him with Girard like skating with the team and traveling with the team. It's a bad time for him to go through a low.
Yep. Back to this game. The Avs are up 1-0. They've survived a couple of penalty kills. They go on the power play.
Oh, Lord.
And Nathan McKinnon just gives a puck away in the middle of his own blue line.
You could tell the discomfort with how they entered the zone because it was Makar.
Yep.
Makar gets the entry. Makar's down low, and there's nobody out in the middle of the ice high in the zone to replace Makar. And McKinnon is so accustomed to getting that puck pretty much in the same situation, high up on the wall right there where a guy is attacking him, and then he just blindly turns and puts it in the middle of the ice. Usually Cale Makar is there. But because Cale Makar was the entry on it, he's down low.
That's the Avs' favorite play is F it, Makar's over there somewhere.
Yeah. and McKinnon just throws it to Robert Thomas, who's just like,
Thank you.
okay. And he goes down, he makes a good move, and he beats Georgiev.
Yep.
And like, you're not getting him upset with Georgiev on that.
It's a clean breakaway, dog.
Oh, come on.
Against arguably St. Louis's best forward.
This year, I would say, yeah, right there.
On any given day, it could be Kyrou, it could be Vucinovic, whatever.
Yeah.
But
You're splitting hairs here. Yeah.
Not the guy you want to give a breakaway to.
Yeah.
Let alone it being shorthanded.
Yeah. And he doesn't work for it. It's not a good play.
It's
not
just a
blocked
gift.
shot.
It's just a gift.
You literally just were like, have a breakaway, sir.
Yep.
And your goalie's like, what the shit, dude?
You're not helping.
Yeah, like, come on. I'm doing what I can to keep us in this thing.
And look, I think we'll have some positives to talk about too. But on the other side of this, the Avs power play goes -1 tonight. Your PK was fantastic, bailed you out of a bunch of situations, and your power play made this game harder than it had to be.
Yeah,
For yourselves. You just never seized the opportunity that was given to you.
honestly, you look at Colorado's best players, and we talked in this pregame. Like, this is going to be, you're going to lean heavily on them tonight.
It was bad. It was bad. They directly cost you 1 goal.
Yeah, to get a win out of a night where your top line is this bad and your depth was this banged up.
Yep.
The NHL doesn't make sense sometimes.
Well,
You know?
and maybe this is what I don't know about the Avs, but maybe this is low-key what Georgiev needed.
A little busier game.
Yep.
A game where they really were like, hey, we need to lean on you. I had this thought in the third period when they hadn't given up. They've given up. We were talking about it.
They gave up 4 shots in the second period.
Yeah, they had given up. It was a 26-minute stretch where I think they gave up 5 total.
Yep.
And it was like, he's getting bored back there. This has been a problem.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And then the third period happens, and there's a whole flurry, and you're like, all right.
He's good.
He's great.
Yep.
He
You're
was really
solid.
good, man. He was really good all game long. So St. Louis helped by blowing their best scoring chances outside of the one breakaway.
Couple of big whiffs on St. Louis's side. There was at least one big whiff on the Avs side too, though. So at the end of the day, Georgiev was 1 save better than the other guy. In a game where he gives up 1 goal, and I think it ended up being 29 shots. It's finally.
I got to 30.
Did it get to 30?
Yeah.
Okay, so finally something that looks good in the score sheet as well on the stats. For
Yeah,
Georgiev.
29 to 30 night is like,
Yep. That'll help the save percentage a little bit.
yeah. Don't do that.
How much credit
too early for that.
How much credit do you give Georgiev for tonight? How much of this was, hey, Georgiev played really well and he won this game for the Avs, and how much of this is Georgiev made the saves he needed to and St. Louis just didn't execute very well?
I'm giving it to Georgiev. It's not on him, but he can only stop the shots that he faces, right?
Yep. That's true.
You know,
The Avs certainly didn't give him much goal support. So
no, I didn't give him shit, man.
gave him enough to win and no more.
Well, and this is their second 2-1 win of the year. Mm-hmm. The other one being the Sharks.
Yep.
In that fiasco of a
50
shootout.
shot game.
Yeah, where you had no business getting
a 1-1
beyond regulation.
game,
Yeah, exactly. So that's a. This feels like exactly what you wanted to see out of Alexander Georgiev.
Yeah.
And against a solid offensive club, too. St. Louis has their problems, and there's no way that the Avs should have struggled to produce offensively as much as they did against that shitty-ass defense.
But you also limited them. So.
But, yeah, you limited them. You made Georgiev's life easier, and the one big freebie that you hand away is what gets to the back of the net.
Yep.
He doesn't give anything away, and for the most part as a club, you make them work.
And that's
It's a good formula.
even beyond Georgiev. Yes, the Avs give away that freebie on the power or on their own power play.
Yeah.
They get heavily outshot in the first period, but then they come back. They don't spiral out of this game because of a stupid mistake. They're able to stay in it.
Yeah, and the only reason that the shots ended up where they really did was because the Avs got the 2-1, and then you're so late in the game at that point that you're just like, it's 2 minutes where they kind of shooting gallery it up, but
whole bottle of low percentage.
Yeah, nothing really dangerous in that in that portion of the game. So you felt like that team defense continued to be solid, made Georgiev's life a little easier, and again, nothing free. He didn't give anything away. He didn't give up a softie. He doesn't give up one where you're like,
exactly.
Just like that.
That would be the sound I would have made had he given up one. Yeah.
When they, I don't even remember who it was, but they had that wraparound chance, and I was like, "Don't you dare give that up again? Don't you do it?"
It's funny. Sometimes NHL games, the team that makes the less mistakes wins. That was tonight.
And gets the bounces. This was a
Yep.
bounces won you a hockey game kind of thing, and it was all right.
Take it and run.
Yeah, really. I mean, thanks for the 2 points, suckers.
Look, if
Your 6-game losing streak on the road is over. Their 4-game home winning streak is over. Everybody in the universe wins when Jordan Binnington loses in regulation, especially.
True. No argument there. If you feel like you're about to get the bounces, maybe head on over to Circa Sportsbook. Get yourself in on some gambling action. If you are heading to Vegas, Circa, a fantastic place to stay. You can go to circasports.com today and check out with code DNVR20 to get 20% off your stay. All sorts of amazing amenities there. Stadium swim. They're the only adult-only casino in Vegas. So, if you want to go and not deal with kids the whole time you're there.
How nice was that when we were there?
Yeah, no kidding. Didn't have to deal with a bunch of kids running around.
Yeah.
Look, it's a fun place to go. If you saw our off-season stuff with the rookie tournament, we were there. Super cool place to go check out. We loved it there. They also have their own sports betting app as well, which you can download from circasports.com. Go get that. Sign up today. Of course, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER or visit problemgamblingcolorado.com today. And then when you win a little bit of extra cash, buy yourself some Avs tickets over at Game Time. Maybe that's where you can get your tickets to go to the game in Vegas, if that's your thing, if you want to catch the Avs there. When you sign up with code DNVR at Game Time, you get $20 off your first purchase, and Game Time guarantees you will get the best prices on tickets, however you want to sort them out. There's a ton of ways you can save money, whether you use the section selector, you wait for last-minute game day deals. Even if you find tickets cheaper somewhere else, Game Time will refund you 110% of the price. So Game Time has you covered no matter what for any sporting event, any event really at all. If it's got tickets, you can buy them on Game Time. Go check them out. Get the Game Time app. There's a link down in the description to download today. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Second period of this game, really nothing happened. Right, all right. Two things happened. The St. Louis chance we talked about where they just missed an open net. And the Avs chance where Mikko Rantanen just misses an open net.
Yeah.
And other than that, you might as well have been staring at static for the entire second period.
Yeah.
Unbelievably boring. I don't know what I really don't have anything else to say about the second.
It happened.
It did happen. Third period of this hockey game, it was higher event than the second period before the goals.
That Mikko one frustrated me.
I think, yeah, you were grinding on it a lot about how deep he slid out.
Yeah, because you're watching as that play develops, and Rantanen is just, he's not skating forward anymore. He's looking at Makar.
Yep.
And he's put himself in the perfect position.
All he has to do is just stop.
And he just keeps drifting and drifting and drifting closer to the blue line. He's taking his own angle away for no reason. There's no defender near him.
Yep.
There was no reason for him to do it. And I think I'm 99% sure it's a subconscious thing where you're not
sure, yeah.
He's not paying attention to it. He's just like, he had slowed his momentum and it was like a boat with no oars.
Yep.
You know, it's just drifting.
Yep.
But he drifted enough that the angle
becomes a whole lot more difficult.
He made it a lot more complicated for himself. And is it a perfect pass from Makar? No.
But it's good enough.
But give me a break,
Yeah.
dude. That has to be a goal.
It's a 50-goal scorer over there.
Like, if you could pick one guy on your team for Makar to make that pass to, it's Mikko Rantanen.
Yep.
So that he made it just ever so slightly more complicated than he needed it to was the difference.
Yep.
And then, you miss your chances. If the Avs lose that game, we're looking at that as a turning point in the game.
Definitely.
And then late in the period when the Blues are on the power play, they get Justin Falk on the back door, who gets all of it.
It's a tap in.
And he just
shanks it. Yeah.
all wide, dude.
Yep.
All wide.
Is that
Which was pretty funny.
It was a weird night too, because you had watched to that point McKinnon miss the net, had a handful of missed opportunities of his own. And then St. Louis is doing that the other way, and well, that's how you get a 1-1 snooze fest of a hockey game, I guess.
Pavel Buchnevich is not going to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
That guy boofed some great chances from the middle of the ice.
Multiple windups
Yeah.
from good spots that did not go.
Or didn't even have to make a save.
Yep.
We're just like, ugh. If a goalie's doing that to you, it's one thing.
Yep.
And it was like that on both sides. It's not like Jordan Binnington was fantastic tonight. It's not like Alexander Georgiev was unbelievable. The best scoring chances just weren't on net.
Yep. They missed.
Yeah.
They actively missed.
Did not need to have saves made. And the ones that they did make, you're like, good save.
Yep. Georgiev, again, he deserves a ton of credit for tonight. He made a number of very nice saves for the Avs, even if some of them were after the play was blown dead and nobody knew it. But
Yeah, I don't know what that was. There were two weird plays tonight with that and the penalty shot out of nowhere.
And that's where I was going to get to next. First of all, apparently it's a penalty shot if you throw something at the puck. Secondly, he didn't really throw his stick at the puck, did he?
He really didn't, but it was clearly broken, and he
Yeah.
swipes at it.
Had they called the penalty of playing with a broken stick? Totally. Get
That's
it.
what the call should have been.
Yeah. It should not have been a penalty shot for throwing something at the puck. Very, very strange call.
Man, we should have a timer for every post game pod, and see how long it takes to bring up Nazem Kadri's name in our post game chat, and just see compared to in wins how long it takes versus losses. Anyway,
What's gonna happen?
You can want Kadri as much as you want. The Avs can't fit a $7 million contract on their books. It just,
well, and you're not keeping that guy till he's 38.
there's a million more reasons.
The
but
money was never really the problem there. It was a problem, but it wasn't the problem.
Yeah, and now they've spent that money elsewhere. Mechanically, you just can't.
Yeah, the Kadri thing is just wish casting.
Yep. So,
And a serious retconning of history that is taking place.
yep.
So
Had they wanted
That's what
him
it is.
on that contract, they would have paid him.
yeah,
That contract.
They probably could have gotten away with $6 million over 7 years. It was 7 years.
Yep.
That they were like, no.
So, anyway, back to the people that played in this hockey game. It was a team that just felt a little bit all over the place tonight. Obviously, your stars weren't great.
It derailed you on the penalty shot.
No,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you even want that penalty shot? Like,
Yes.
I think this is a legitimate question. Do you think a Cale Makar penalty shot scores more often than your roughly 25% power play?
In the third period of a game where I've seen how my top guys have played for the first two periods,
Fair.
I am taking that penalty shot.
Okay, fair. I don't have an argument against
I
that.
think on like a
Night where your power play doesn't look like butt, yeah.
yeah, like the Ottawa game where you're like, no, we'll take the power play,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You're right. You're right. The power play was awful today.
Your best guys just played like shit. Yeah. So it was, including Cale Makar.
Yep.
And so I'm just like, just get it over with, man. You're either going to score or you're not. I mean, we don't need 2 minutes where Nathan McKinnon might make an incredibly dumb decision again.
And lose you the game.
Yeah. There's no giving up a goal on a penalty shot. There's no shorthanded penalty shot opportunity.
You don't think it should be like a soccer penalty shot? Where like everyone has to stand at the blue line and then play is live after this initial save is made?
No, they should definitely do that.
I'm all here for it.
That sounds
yeah.
that Kuznetsov shit would end real fast. You're not going in that slowly anymore when people are chasing him down. Yeah, I mean, also, just be fun.
Yeah, I'm here for the fun.
Trying to inject
Some kind of fun into this horrible hockey.
a little bit more fun into it outside of the, oh, hey, they're getting a power play. All right, cool. We come back from commercial break and it's Kale's at the center ice
And
by
everyone's
himself.
like, what?
And Robert Thomas is like screaming at a referee. And you're like, what is taking place right now?
And
Yeah.
then we never saw the call that went against the Avs later, which is allegedly a hold on Miles Wood. Not that, whatever. The refs were what they were tonight. I don't really care.
Yeah, I really officiating tonight. I don't think the biggest break in the game was that weird ass penalty shot.
Yep.
That's it. It went Colorado's way.
And Puck didn't lie on that one, so fair enough.
Yeah, well, McCarr made damn sure it wasn't about the lie with that weak
Shot
ass
it right into his
bullshit.
glove.
Yeah, dude.
There was no move there. There was no move. And then you get the game-winning goal late in the third period. It's credited to Devone Toews right now. Probably will end up being his. Who knows? I would have to go look to really examine the bounce that it gets off the front guys in front of the net.
I think it's off of the skate of the defenseman. So just from what I saw, it's Taves' goal. It'll stay Taves' goal.
Yep.
If it gets changed to Miles Wood, cool.
And
Let's see if it has already.
anyone who's watched hockey for long enough knew that was exactly how this game was going to end.
Yeah, it was very predictable.
Didn't have to be the Avs scoring the goal, but you knew it was just going to be some bounce off some shit because neither of these teams played well enough to win this game with a real goal.
Still Taves' goal.
There you go. So
Yahtzee.
the Avs gave themselves a chance to get a bounce. They got it. They win a hockey game. It's, I don't know. Life's just not that complicated sometimes.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't play great, even if you don't love it, even if it was boring, the Avs get the win.
Ugh, was it boring?
Is that all we care about tonight?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was it's kind of a shit hockey game.
It was. It was.
You'd rather win a shit hockey game than lose.
True.
You know, you had a 2-game road trip against division opponents. You walk out with
split.
3 or 4 points.
Yeah. That's not bad.
750 points percentage. Even if you can look at it and be like, it should have been 100. You're right.
You will still win your division with a 750 points percentage.
You're right. But they got the 2 in the night that they were in. You know,
Sometimes the bread's ugly, but it still tastes good.
yeah.
Put it that way. Because, we always ask how the bread gets made.
You out here eating ugly bread?
Oh, totally. If it tastes good, I don't care what it looks like.
Where the hell are you getting ugly bread from?
I choose not to answer.
All right. Now is this what it's like when I'm cagey with people? Because now my intrigue has gone way up because I'm like, do you have like a bread dealer? Like behind, like in your HOA? Do you have like, you went on like next door and found somebody that was like selling their
Yeah,
whack ass bread and it doesn't look good at all, but it tastes incredible?
She lives with me, so.
Oh, okay. Nice. Damn, somebody lives with you and your wife? That's now we're learning all kinds of shit. This is crazy.
Look, coming off of the loss that you did, I just don't think you can complain about how you get the rebound win.
Yeah, no way. Did they play as well? And you're gonna have games like this.
Yep.
Winning in the games like this is great. They haven't really had a game this ineffective through 60 minutes in quite a while, but they win it.
Yep.
You're golden, man.
A quiet, sneaky thing. I think we talked about it a lot at the start of the year when the Avs were on that hot streak.
Yeah.
But good teams win games that they're in. They find a way to win the game in the style that it just falls into on any given night.
When you're 8 minutes to play in the third period of a 1-1 game, you can't go back and replay the first 52 minutes of it.
Yep.
You just have the final 8 minutes to try and find a way to something. So you keep it simple. You have to do you have to do like the little things. And how do they win the game? They get an offensive zone faceoff. RyJo gets down and dirty, wins that thing back.
You throw a
Val
puck
taps
towards
it
the
back to
net.
Toews, and he fires it towards the net, and you get a bounce. You get lucky.
Yep.
It happens. It's going to happen to the Avs. It has happened to the Avs.
Yep. Happened arguably. I mean, there was terrible play leading up to it, but Coyotes got a bounce to win the game in overtime the other night.
Literally, a guy skates into a puck that bounces straight up in the air.
Yeah, right.
Like, for me, I'm like, you're good, and you get 2 points out of that. Out of this trade, you're a +1. You lose the 1 point, but you get 2 here.
Yep.
Great.
Hard to be mad. Hard to be mad at that.
Yeah. Boy math.
I did call the score 3 goals in a game in a period and it be tied 1-1 hockey math earlier on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, is what it is. Look, I don't know how much longer this podcast is going to be because this was a boring, terrible hockey game. So
Yeah.
let me talk about this really quick because we are brought to you by Breckenridge Distillery. You can get your award-winning whiskey today. Maybe it would have made this game more interesting if I pounded a bunch of Breckenridge Distillery for every missed open net.
Or if you're just throwing back some black market bread and you need something to chase it with.
Need some whiskey bread? Yeah,
Exactly.
there we go. Now we're talking.
Exactly.
Get your alcohol from Breckenridge Distillery. They have more than just whiskey. They have a new vodka. They're the official bourbon of the the Denver Broncos even. And they have a fantastic restaurant if you're ever in Breckenridge. Go check them out. You can go to BreckenridgeDistillery.com today to see all of their alcohols and order and have it delivered from their online menu. Also brought to you by College Invest, which, look, we all know it's important. You always got to be aware of your money. And the earlier you start saving for college, the earlier it's going to need to be. So whether it's for your child or for someone you know, you can start your savings plan today, and College Invest will make it easy and super flexible to do what you want with your money.
So flexible.
Yeah?
I was just being supportive.
I haven't been flexible in a very long time myself, so.
I haven't been financially flexible my entire life.
Yeah.
Not one day since I started checking my own bank account have I been financially flexible. So
We finally started making money for 10 milliseconds, and then we're like, you know what we should do? Take out a mortgage. And don't get me wrong, I love my house, but
terrible housing market.
yeah, we bought pretty close to the peak.
Yeah, in an incredibly predatory housing market. Let's make a 40-year commitment.
So get College Invest and make your kids smarter than me.
Exactly. They can take an economics class in which you'll be one of the subjects in the book saying, don't do this.
Go to collegeinvest.org to open your account today. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. We have a few super chats to get to, as well as some other favorites that.
You want to do questions? I just asked.
Oh, yeah. We'll do questions. Whoever's here, whatever's on their mind.
Trade sooner or what?
What?
What were you saying?
Whatever's on people's mind.
Oh, okay. Do we see a trade sooner or later from Saki Sam? I mean, yes. I am confident the Avs will make a trade. I would expect it to be closer to the deadline.
Yeah.
But there will be a trade at some point. I would be shocked if the Avs don't make more moves this year.
Also, historically speaking, the Avs have made a deadline deal.
At least like 18 years in a row or something.
You're at like 23 right now. Like it's been almost every year they've been in Denver, they made a deadline deal.
Sometimes it's an AHL guy for an
This
AHL
also
guy.
counts like last year's deal where they got that weird Gustav, whatever his name was, the Swedish guy from the Rangers.
I can't even remember his last name.
Also, like Lars Eller counted.
Yep. So yeah, I guess so. GX says, "What do you think will change the most when Gerard is back?" Less pressure on Bowen Byram.
So 2 things about Gerard. Certainly less pressure on Bowen Byram. They also are going to get that baseline level of play from Gerard, which is it is inarguable that he produces consistently solid underlying results.
Mm-hmm. Just based on the numbers
from January on from last year, because the start of his year last year was terrible. But from January on of last year, he was good.
Yep.
He was really good in that playoff series too.
Yep.
And then his first 15 games this year, he was quite good. He needs to be a little better offensively. He just needs to produce more. But 15 games, as we've talked about, it can come and go. As you've seen with Josh Manson, right? Who I think got he snagged an assist tonight on the RyJo goal, and all 10 of his points have come in the last like 12 games or something. Like he's offensively, it's been hilarious for that guy.
He's had the walk-in wrist shot goal play like 4 times in the last 3 games.
Well, he had that goal taken away.
Right.
Like, so, with Girard, you're talking about a baseline level of play that you aren't getting out of Caleb Jones and Sam Malinsky, where 9 out of 10 nights, we'll say 8 out of 10 nights, you're getting at minimum this level.
Yep.
You're getting just a solid, reliable second pairing guy.
Add some stability, take away some of the brain farts that the Avs have had.
You also, your PK has been pretty good, but you take Bowen Byram off of that and you put Sam Girard on it, your PK gets better.
Yep.
And if you go from a really good PK to an elite PK, that's a great thing for you.
True.
And it's not that Sam Girard is such a good PK guy that he alone does that, but you already have a really, really good PK.
And he makes it better.
Yeah. So that's that. And the other aspect of the Girard thing, we don't know how long he's been fighting some of the inner demons.
Right.
How much is the random downturn in his play that happened 2 years ago and the kind of roller coaster play a result of those demons that he's been going through?
It may end up being totally unrelated, but you're looking a couple seasons ago with a guy who's 1 point away from a 40-point year.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Well, and he had unbelievable underlings those first couple of years of his career where you were like, this guy might be a top 30 defenseman in the entire NHL.
Yep.
He was insanely good.
Yep.
And then seemingly overnight, the struggles started. And we kind of just grew to accept, all right, he's a second pairing guy.
Yep.
Because that's where he's settled in. If he has used the program effectively and put that stuff behind him, and he is the absolute best version of himself, how much better is his play? It may not be any better.
we don't know.
Yeah. He may continue to be that guy that will absolutely cause some people to freak out because he'll make a big mistake and it'll end up in the back of the net. But he'll have people like me being like, look at these numbers. Look at the actual data. Look at the actual on ice results when he's out there.
Yep.
And all these things are in Colorado's favor, except for the goals, which, if you boil it down to being that bottom line and that's all you care about, then that's all you care about. You can only ever make that argument for everyone.
Yep.
So, I think with Girard, those are the two things that I'm keeping an eye on. That he makes the defense better, and I'm just curious.
Yep.
If this stuff is behind him, does his game take off to a little bit of a higher level? Because if it does, that helps. And if it doesn't, he's still a quite good NHL player.
It's just one more bag tool in the bag, right? If Bowen Byram's not playing well on a night, you can cut his minutes. If Cale Makar's not feeling 100% on a night, you can play Girard a little bit more.
Yeah.
Things like that.
This 20-game absence, roughly 20 game absence that he's had, Bowen Byram didn't do enough.
Agree. I'm with you.
He has not done enough to say, I need to continue to play 20 minutes every single night.
Yep. Next question. Why are dogs' noses wet?
Science.
Boom. Got him. Next question. If the Avs do go after a Colton-type player, who would you like the Avs to target? Realistically, I would like the Avs to target a more surefire center than a Ross Colton type, right? You would like them to go get a bona fide 2C.
Yeah. Who is that? What is that?
Right.
If you actually sit down and you go through 32 depth charts in the NHL, you'll find some good two second line centers out there.
But how many?
Almost all of them have a major red flag in terms of you either don't want to trade for that guy because of a Nazem Kadri like
age
contract. He has a contract until he's 38 years old making premium money. No. Or it's,
Why would they give
William
you that guy?
Karlsson's a great second line center. Vegas isn't trading that guy to you.
Yep.
So it's hard to find. Everybody loves to talk about Boone Jenner, but Boone Jenner's the captain. Yeah. Unless you bowl over Columbus with an irresponsible offer for a good, not great player, you're probably not prying Boone Jenner out of there.
Yep.
So what do? It's just go look at 32 depth charts in 31 other depth charts in the NHL It's hard to find targets, man. It's
That's-
hard.
When you take it seriously, when you reality check yourself and look at the players that are actually available, that the Avs can actually afford,
Yeah.
and the players that actually make sense, the list is pretty darn short.
Yeah, and it's why you have a conversation about an Elias Lindholm. You know, a guy that is miscast as a top line center on a mediocre team.
Yep.
And you say, well, if we put him in Colorado as the second line center, it's a far more appropriate role for him.
Yep.
And just see how it goes.
Obviously, you can't know until it happens, but
Yeah, and there's an awful lot of reasons, data, playing styles, whatever, that suggest it would be quite a good fit.
yep.
But he's also going to be wildly expensive via trade, and you know that his contract demands are such that you probably can't keep him.
Yep. It would be a rental. For all we know, Calgary could pick up the phone and say, hey, we want 7 first-round picks, and then it's just not happening.
Yeah, and even if you decided you were like, if it goes amazingly and you decide he's only 29 years old, we can keep him. This is not Kadri. We can keep this guy. All right, you gave him $9 million a year. Now you're doing major surgery on your defense.
Yep.
You're okay, great. You got rid of Ryan Johansen. You got rid of Josh Manson.
Yeah. And now you still needed more.
Yeah. Did you also get rid of Bowen? Did you also turn around and get rid of Bowen Byram this summer or Sam Girard this summer?
Right.
Because it's not just as easy as, okay, we got to $9 million. You need to get to like $12 million just as a minimum to bring other guys in.
Yep.
So it's hard. It's a really hard problem to have.
It is. Not an enviable position.
Yeah.
Next question. Where is Eric? He is on vacation, but he'll be back for Sunday's game.
Yeah, he took Max to BU.
Yep.
I only heard baby and was like, what the fuck did she just say?
Yep. He's got to go play big boy hockey now.
Yeah. Good luck to him. It's awesome.
Yeah, totally.
We'll be keeping an eye on.
Yep. And then Christian asks your thoughts on Kuznetsov. Nah.
Good career.
Yep.
Absolutely no interest if that's what this question is.
He's
No.
You know how everyone is super concerned about Jonathan Drouin's defensive ability? That's Evgeny Kuznetsov times like 4 for me.
Yeah, well, and a guy that, with Jonathan Drouin, when he got here, it was, can he do this?
Yep.
Not
he has to do this.
not like, is he does he give a shit enough, is he engaged enough?
It's just, we know he has the talent. Is he in the right place to be
Yeah.
able to succeed? Yeah.
Yeah, and he's also really expensive.
That's more my problem.
Like, are you really gonna?
You're getting a guy that you just have no idea what you're going to get out of for that price, as opposed to a Jonathan Drouin, which costs you $850K.
850 is 850, 825. I don't know.
Was it
Who
825?
cares, man?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
800 some odd K for Jonathan Drouin, and he has far outplayed that.
Yep.
Far outplayed that deal.
Where if Kuznetsov gives you anything less than great, he will underplay his deal.
Yeah, in the same way that Ryan Johansen has just because he was brought in to be such an important part of the team. Jonathan Drouin was brought in to be like maybe a middle 6 wing.
Yep.
Maybe this works.
Yep. And then it's worked.
It has. Yeah, it has.
And then we have 3 super chats here, all from Banks, I believe. Oh, he double sent them. Thank you very much for all the money, Banks. He says, first of all, to preface, Blues are one of 4 teams I don't care. Process sucks. Just win. Fast forward, the game was ass, but we won and fuck the Blues. Go Avs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been the whole show, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then your other super chat is this a jumping off point for Georgiev? I hope so, but we also hope the first Arizona game was that.
Yeah, we hope that the third period of the Ottawa game was that. And then, we just he'll have a good performance where we're like, is this it? Is this it? And it hasn't been it. So hopefully this is. Yeah, it would be great if this was it.
Yeah, it has to get better. And it was better tonight. So simple math on that one, I guess. I don't need to explain it to you. We are brought to you by the folks over at Red Hawk Roofing. If you've sprung a leak, they've got you covered, even if it is off a weird bounce. Red Hawk Roofing will take care of it. They are available 24/7. They take emergency calls. So if something crazy happens on the spot, they can come out and fix it up for you. Also, even if you have nothing wrong, they will give you a free inspection with pictures and all that stuff. So get them out, have them take a look at your roof just to make sure everything's all good. It costs you nothing. And if there is something wrong, they can get it fixed for you. Give a call to Red Hawk Roofing. Go to redhawkroofing.com today to get them to come out and get your roof looking pristine. Then we're also brought to you by Snarfs. Fantastic little delicious sandwiches there. You were going to go there today before you were late. So it's the way to go. There's 11 different locations here in Colorado.
I wasn't late. I just didn't have enough time for Snarfs.
You would have been late if you went to Snarfs.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Don't be casting aspersions in my direction, sir. That's Tiff's job.
Snarfs delicious sandwiches. We have them all the time for our pregame meals. They're great. You can't go wrong. You can get whatever they have on the menu and you will enjoy it, ranging from something as simple as a ham and cheese to the crazy fancy stuff. You can get all sorts of different mixes and meats and salads and lettuce and all sorts of craziness on there. So go check them out. Hit up a local Snarfs near you today and get yourself some great sandwiches. That's all I got. A game that a week from now I'm not even going to remember, to be honest with you.
I might, just because it was awful to sit through. But 2 weeks from now, nope. It is out of the memory bank, man. It is gone.
On to the next one, the last one of 2023 for the Colorado Avalanche. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully they finish the year strong.
I mean, you really are like, all right, you really should win that game.
One. Yep.
Should really. I fully expect Ivan Prosvetov gets that start.
Yeah.
You know, the Avs don't have a 2-day break again until
January's a tough month, man.
Yeah, until the 11th and 12th.
Yeah. Yep.
What the shit, dude?
And then the next one is the All-Star break, I think, after that. Yeah.
Because they go on that 6-game road trip out east.
Yep.
And then they come back. Actually, no, I think they have 3 days off, then they play 2 games, and they have the All-Star break.
Okay, so, like
so they'll be well rested for their rest.
Yeah, whatever. All right. You guys are one short of the like, and we're up in Studio B anyway, so I don't think we have shots around.
Yeah.
But we do appreciate the likes. Well, they hit 100, and I'm not opening that bottle. AJ will do a shot of his pop right now. Go get yourself an Ollie Pop.
Slam it.
He's not. That was close to a shot's worth of drink. So that's what you'll get.
Yeah.
We do appreciate y'all.
Studio B, blame the Nuggets.
True. Yeah.
That's what we do.
Also, things didn't go their way tonight. So
did they finish that way?
I just knew they were down 20 at the start of the fourth.
Did they?
So anyway, we got the enjoyable win, even if the game itself was quite boring.
I'm getting really tired of both teams not being allowed to.
Can they just win on the same freaking day? Yeah, I know. So dumb.
CU and CSU won, though.
Happy for them.
I'm happy for those beats. Like, those are both good college basketball teams.
CSU might be really good.
And I live in mortal fear of one of them playing Kansas in the tournament and beating them.
And you're never hearing the end of it.
Yeah. And then, like, RK will only ever mention that to me for the rest of my life. And I'm like, Kansas will roll into the Big 12 next year and go 12-0 against them for the next decade. And I'll be like, yeah, what, bitch? And he'll just be like, yeah, but what about that tournament game? And I'll just be like, oh, my God, it's hard to argue with these people.
We appreciate y'all. We're out of here for this one. We're off tomorrow. You will see us Sunday, New Year's Eve for the Avs game, though. So tune into that one. We are done. And one last time, we'll see you again this year.
We all silly like the mayor.